In this episode of the Happy Hustle Podcast, we have on Mr. Tyson Durfey, who is a world champion rodeo athlete. He talks to us all about mental toughness, how to build businesses that you love, that are vertically integrated into your lifestyle, and how to put your family and God first. After a quick episode sponsor break, we're going to be diving into this episode of the Happy Hustle Podcast. Do you want blissful balance in your personal and professional life? Great. What's up, guys? My name is Kerry Jack, and I want to help you happy hustle a life you love, one full of passion, purpose, and positive impact. I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur, a professional model / actor, a digital marketing specialist, a podcast host, author, a biohacker, an eco-warrior, a martial artist, a hippie cowboy, and a humanitarian. My goal is to educate, inspire, and entertain you to live a life of passion, purpose, and positive impact. It is time to happy hustle your dream reality. Yee-yee. All right, Mr. Tyson Durfey, my brother, welcome to the Happy Hustle Podcast, my man. I'm super stoked to rock the mic with you.
I am honored, my friend. I feel like I've been your friend for a while, but I remember the inception of this, and I am blown away. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, man, me too. I mean, you are a world champion rodeo athlete. You are the founder of multiple very successful companies. You preach mental toughness and how we can all become just stronger in between the ears. And really, I look to you as someone who is happy hustling a life that they love, you know, personally and professionally. You have a beautiful family, you put God first, and you really embody the happy hustle spirit. And I'm really excited to talk about mental toughness and how the happy hustlers out there can really just extract some of your wisdom along your journey. But before we get into all this good stuff, Tyson, what is something interesting about yourself that not too many people know?
Well, something that your audience may not know is I wear a bright pink shirt every time I've competed since like 2008. So we're rocking 15 years of the bright pink shirt. And, a lot of people are like, oh, why is this cowboy wearing a bright pink shirt? And so one thing that I realized very early on in my rodeo career in chasing championships and trying to be a world champion and in pursuit of it, like if I tied the things that I do to something greater than myself, it would force me to perform at a higher level. And so very early on in my career, my stepmother had a cancer scare. And I said, you know what? I'm going to wear a bright pink shirt for you, so that, when you see me riding the arena, it'll lift your spirits, it'll make you feel good. I did that one year. And then the next year after our national finals rodeo, which is our Super Bowl of rodeo, I had so many people coming up to me saying, you inspired my mom, you helped my sister, my aunt, all this stuff, literally to the tune of, hundreds of people coming up to me. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be the cowboy in pink forever. If Johnny Cash is the man in black, then I'm going to be the cowboy in pink.
Honestly, I love that story. And you pull off pink better than any cowboy or any man that I know. So kudos to you, brother. Now, I do want to kick things off.
It's this light Irish skin, it pulls out the pink so good.
It sure does. It sure does. So talk to us a little bit about what you mean when you talk about mental toughness. I think it's first important to just define it.
I think it's the belief in yourself to be able to achieve anything that you set your mind to, whether it's building that business or making that first 100,000 or that first million, or being an athlete and winning championships or becoming a world champion like I am. Like, it takes that internal belief in yourself to do that and the will to get it done. And, a lot of people, they're watching social media right now, or they're seeing all this stuff, and they think mental toughness is all about physical strength. And the truth is that's just a part of it, and I did a Navy SEAL Hell Week last year. I told myself, I say, you know what? I'm the guy that's always lifting everybody up online, preaching mental toughness, preaching strength. I said, well, let's put my feet to the fire and see how well I do. And one thing I learned through going through that Hell Week was like, physical, yes, but mental in the face of adversity is way, way, way more powerful. To have that belief when you're hungry, when you're freezing cold, when you haven't eaten for days, when your team is coming down on you and you made a mistake, like to have that toughness to keep going. And you take a look at the world today. I mean, masculinity is a problem according to the news. And I just don't believe that. I believe that a strong man is the future. And if we're going to get it back, we got to start getting to work. And I believe that men can. The happy hustlers out there, they can be the leaders of their family. They can be the leaders of their business. They can be the leaders of their crowd, their group. But it starts right here. At least that's what I believe.
No, amen, man. I hear you. I think a lot of people almost now like demonize masculinity and mental toughness, and I think it's trending our society in the wrong direction. And this isn't a political conversation. I just think at the end of the day, we are made up of masculine and feminine energy. And even the female happy hustlers out there, you have masculinity inside of you, and sometimes in order to tap into that mental toughness, you have to dig deep. And I really think it's important for everyone to just take stock of where they are at in their self-talk and some of those self-limiting beliefs that may be holding them back. When you're working with, I know you work with entrepreneurs, pro athletes, and everyone in between on mental toughness. What's the first step? What do you first do to address the mental toughness problem per se with these individuals? And how can the happy hustlers, kind of walk us through that process, will you?
Yeah. So number one, I got to establish if they got the will to win or they just kind of want it. A lot of people just kind of want it. I hate to say that, but I don't know why. Maybe life was difficult for them, or they got these mental blocks. But if a person truly wants it, the next thing I do is I want them to understand how they think. Right? Have you ever thought about the way that you think, how you process information, what you do with it? Do you tear yourself down? And if you tear yourself down, let's go back to childhood and figure out why you tear yourself down. Chances are, if you're hard on yourself all the time, that was actually given to you. It did not originate in you, but it was passed down to you. And once you understand the way that you think, we can go back to those root issues, work through those, and get our asses in gear. Because what happens is, if you don't deal with the underlying issue, later in life, you will self-sabotage your way back to that money. If you think you're worth $5,000 a month and you start making 10, pretty soon you're going to self-sabotage your way back to that because of the limiting beliefs. And if you deal with them from the beginning, it makes it so much easier to be a champion. And I say this from experience. And a lot of people don't know my childhood. When my mom was pregnant with me, and I had two older brothers. My mom, my dad, my two older brothers lived in a barn, dirt floor, no concrete, no running water, electricity. It was a 10 wall, a barn with a 10 wall, and we were in the Midwest. You know how cold the Midwest gets? It's freezing cold. Yeah. And so I come from very, very humble beginnings. I don't come from a championship lifestyle. I don't come from millions of dollars. I don't come from family that had a business that passed it down to me. I had to go through the school of hard knocks. And you know what? I kept getting close to a championship time after time after time, because hard work will get you a certain amount of distance, but hard work plus a massive belief in yourself will create you the best in the world. And so every year I would make the Super Bowl. I've been to the Super Bowl of my sport 13 times. Okay. 13 times. Of those 13 times, within the last minute, I'm trying to compare it to sports. Within the last minute, I had a chance to win the championship 5 times. Okay. I did it once. You know what the difference was the year that I did it? Was I found somebody that could put the belief in me. I went out and I got a guy named Jay Novacek, 3-time Super Bowl champion with the Dallas Cowboys and the 96 MVP. Jay looked at me with my work ethic, and he stated publicly on a TV show we were on one time, because he was my trainer, that Tyson will be a champion. He will be the champion. And when he paired that belief with my kind of maybe possible, it was like, boom. It was a firecracker, because he poured into me so much, seen my work ethic. He told the world that I would make it. And then I finally did, with the right guidance. And that was the biggest thing for me, was I had all the work, but I didn't have the belief. And when you either get somebody to put that belief in you, or you actually have it, you will be a champion if you work your tail off.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, man. Powerful. I mean, it's really about having that belief in yourself and then having that mentorship, right? Like someone who has the results that you desire. I think that is like the shortcut, if there is one, to quote unquote success, whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah.
Talk to us about selecting a mentor. I know you and I probably have seen online plenty of gurus, I call them fake gurus,
Yeah.
right? People who,
Yeah.
are rented the Lambos and pretending they live this lifestyle, but then behind closed doors, they're not really the people that they say they are. And it's unfortunate. But when you look to select a mentor, what do you look for? What are the qualities?
Number one, been there, done that. Like I got to rock hard know when I'm selecting a mentor that they've been there, done that, which is why when I seeked out Jay Novacek, like Jay is a legend in the state of Texas. I mean, he took the Cowboys to new heights and everybody knows Jay. And I thought he was way out of my league, to be honest with you. But I knew he had what I wanted and I was willing to do whatever it took to get mentored by this person. And that's what a lot of people miss. They're like, I can do it myself, or I got to find a mentor, but make sure they've been there, done that. If you're following somebody online and all they flaunt is their freaking Lambo and their jet and the girls that they have, that's not your guy. Because even if you get it and you act like those guys, you're going to come crashing down at some point. You don't want it out of pride. You don't want it out of ego. You want it because of impact and the kind of legacy that you can leave behind that your kids or your friends can follow. And if you find the right mentor, they can literally take the time that it would naturally take you and divide it by 4. Divide it by 4. That's how quick you can get there.
Yeah, no, amen, man. It's just expediting your success. And I think for you, I'm curious to transition this conversation. Yes, being a world champion athlete, it requires mental toughness. And I think a lot of people can like understand the parallels. Like you got to train hard, you got to be prepared on the field or in the arena, whatever, place you're competing per se. But I don't think enough people bring mental toughness to their business, to entrepreneurship, and to even, like their careers, right? Talk to us about how you make that correlation for entrepreneurs and working professionals.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Most people look at mental toughness as a thing when the crap's already hitting the fan, right? We don't really worry about it when things are going good. When things are going good, it's like, I'm good. I got it. It's no big deal. But the truth is, if you will consistently test yourself when it's not needed, through doing hard things, through being disciplined, through just being a man or a woman of your word, when times get tough, you will have that button in your head that says, I can, I will, I must, I'm going to, and you will push it. And it won't be hard and it won't be this big blow up. I mean, think about, entrepreneurs. Business is going good. They're happy. Even COVID year, businesses were good for a lot of businesses. And for some businesses, they were terrible. Anything to do with outdoors, being outside, renovating your home, like those businesses were just blowing up. So those businesses didn't have anything to worry about other than supply chain issues, right? But the restaurant owners, they had a lot to worry about and they had to be mentally tough. And so to get through it, some people, unfortunately, were forced to close down, which sucks, right? And that was completely out of their control. But how do they bounce back? That's the key. I define a champion. I define a winner is not somebody who made a mistake, because guess what? We've all made mistakes. I'm a world champion. The reason I'm a champion is because I've made more mistakes than just about everybody. But you're not defined by when you were down. You're defined with what you do with that adversity. I grew up poor. I grew up getting made fun of. I grew up taking 1 bath a week. I lived on a farm. Addiction problems in the family, divorced family. I lived in the backseat of my truck. I believed in myself when nobody believed in me. And you're created through pressure and fire. Fire refines gold. Pressure creates diamonds. So if you're going through hell, my friend, just keep going. Because on the flip side is when the reward's going to come. Do not quit. That's my main message. Like if you follow me on social media, do not quit. Even when the world tells you to do it, do not quit.
Yeah. Ooh, powerful, man. I love it. Breathing fire, blowing smoke.
Yeah.
Tyson Durfey, y'all. This is great, man. I mean, I think it's so powerful to hear your journey and like what you've overcome. I think just about anyone who I think has any type of success, quote unquote, unless you're a trust fund baby, has had adversity and made mistakes and has learned from those mistakes and has overcome them and become stronger in the process. And that's really like a blessing in disguise oftentimes. You know, people don't see their adversities as a blessing in disguise, but I personally do. I think it actually it sharpens the sword, you know, and it really does make you a stronger human. When it comes to mistakes in business, tell me the greatest mistake you made in business and what you learned from
I'm going to call the title of this one Trust But Verify.
it.
So
Okay.
I had just competed at the Calgary Stampede. I won third at the Calgary Stampede Rodeo, which gave me a check of about $30,000, right? And so I'm like, I got 30 grand. Like I now have 30,000 in my pocket plus like the 5 I had prior to winning the 30 grand. And I was just rodeoing, right? Well, I had this friend who was like, hey, you should buy a condo in Calgary. You can make the down payment with your 30 grand and it'll be great. It'll go up in value and we can rent it out, blah, 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 blah. So this person, when we're in Calgary, takes me to the condo, I'm like, granted, I'm like 22, 23 years old, takes me to the condo, shows me the condo. It's in construction, right? I'm like, perfect. I get done with the rodeo, hand them the check for 30 grand. And they're like, yeah, I'll get you your documents later. You know, we'll get all the paperwork drawn up. And I didn't know that you did that through a title company or anything like that. Guess what happened to all my money?
Oh,
it was a scheme. The person took my money, all of it. It's like $30,000 and run off with it.
Oh.
I never seen a dime of that. I had like $4 grand left. Plus, guess what? Good old Canadian IRS sent me the tax bill on it at the end of the year, and I not only didn't have the money, but I had to go create the money just to pay the taxes. And so I would tell you guys, like, trust people, but you better verify them. Watch their actions over a period of time. If they don't produce good fruit, if they're constantly in drama, if they're constantly broke, or if they live a prideful life, don't get involved with them. Even if they have a silver tongue, even if they talk perfect, right? Even if they're trying to get you into this deal or that deal or that deal. Trust, my friends, Ronald Reagan said it best. Trust but verify.
Yeah, that's wise words, man. So moving forward in your entrepreneurial journey, talk to us about, I know you run multiple companies. Give us, you know, a little bit of insight on those different companies and kind of where you're at now.
Yeah. So number one, my athletic career, you can see the people on my shirt. You know, these are, you know, $1 billion companies that sponsor me. They're Huckabee here is a presidential candidate. I got his own TV show. So I'm involved with really high level people. And so my first business that was successful was my rodeo business, the business of competing and winning and not only being a good athlete, but like understanding other leverage points, which is then what brought me to media, social media, drumming up sponsorships, right? And so that's all kind of its own business. Secondly, my wife and I are like, hey, you know what? We're cowboys. And my wife's family had been in the belt buckle business. So like, we should start our own belt buckle company. We got manufacturing on lock. We already have customers because I'm a well-known athlete. We can just sell to our customers and vertically integrate. This is a very valuable lesson to anybody in business. If you have a business that works, do not go do something completely different where you have to start over. Vertically integrate into a stream that's already going the right direction. After that, and we built that business to a multiple 7-figure business. We do tens of thousands of belt buckles a year, and it's really grown into a great business. It's called Shea Michelle Buckles. We named it after my wife because she's brilliant and I love her, and she is the implementer. I'm the idea guy and the inspiration, but she's the implementer. Above and beyond that, I went to Brazil. I was actually training in Brazil, and then a guy that owned a store heard I was in the country. I speak Portuguese fluently, so he was like, "Hey, dude, come over to my store. I don't have anything to pay you, but would you shoot an ad for my store?" And this is a very valuable life lesson. Had I said no to this, it would have cost me millions and millions and millions of dollars. Because I came with a giving heart and did this commercial for this dude for free, I got an idea for a company we call Shea Baby, which is now in we're closing in on 1,000 stores nationwide. Right.
Wow.
So I went to this store in Brazil. I see these baby Western clothes, boots, incredible outfits, all this stuff. I'm like, dude, my wife and I are going to have kids someday. This will vertically integrate into what we're doing. We should do this. Again, I was the idea guy. My wife was the implementer. We built that into multiple 7-figure business and growing rapidly growing. Above and beyond that, I do a bunch of stuff online, man. I got mentorship programs online. I teach mental toughness online. I do a lot of that. And, I feel like I'm just getting warmed up. That's the thing. I do what I love. So it doesn't seem like a drain on me. I don't hate my life every day when I wake up. And I would highly recommend even anybody out there, if you hate what you do every single day, man, you might have missed your calling. You're better off to start over and love it than you are to be miserable for the next 40 years.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're preaching to the choir, and it's an impressive resume of businesses and how you've vertically integrated. That's one thing I just want to extract for all the happy hustlers out there listening and watching. It's like you are already doing these things. You enjoy these things. Then you create companies around the things that you already are doing and enjoy. And that's, what putting the happy in your hustle is all about. I think a lot of people, they kind of just like chase the get rich quick schemes and, 6-minute abs or whatever. Like they want this instant gratification and it doesn't fit their lifestyle or really what their passion and purpose is all about. So I just think you're a great example of how you have been able to integrate your businesses with your lifestyle. Now, I am curious because you do have a lot going on and balance is a big topic for me. What does a blissfully balanced day look like for Tyson?
Honestly, I was blessed to be able to spend a bunch of time with you last week again. And to be honest with you, watching your presentation, Carrie, like literally shifted my perspective. Learning like the beliefs that I had about myself, I was told I was dumb as a box of rocks. I'd never make it. I was in every learning disability class in school, which meant I would basically hide out in the halls until the bell would ring. And right before the bell would ring, I'd duck into my learning disability class because I was ADD and dyslexic and I was tired of getting made fun of. And I didn't want everybody to know. And so for me, like balance is hard. And I've always relied on really hard work, like putting in 18 hours a day, 16 hours a day to get ahead. And to be honest with you, now that I'm married and I have 3 beautiful children, I just can't do that anymore, right? Mm-hmm. There's a point in your life, maybe you're 19, 20, you don't have a lot of family obligations. It's okay to do that. But for those of us that have children and family, you do that, you're telling them that your job is more important than they are. And that's a really bad thing to do over a long period of time. So for me, Carrie, I am always trying to find that balance. One thing that I do every single day is I'm out of the office at 5:30. Stopping point. I don't care if crap's hitting the fan. It doesn't matter. From 5:30 to about 9 o'clock, wife, family, kids, do dishes, change diapers. I turn in like daddy daycare. Boom, that fast. And for me, it's that hard stopping point. So I have non-negotiables in my life, right? Non-negotiables. Right. Yeah. There are things that I will not do no matter what, because my natural tendency is to do that thing. My natural tendency, because I wanted to fight against people who told me I was dumb and I would never make it. I was like, okay, I'm just going to simply outwork you. And not just like 10%, like I'm talking double, I'm talking triple. I would do whatever it takes. Right. And so it was very difficult for me as I began to slow down competing and moved more into business, because that was my default. But I'm working on it every day. And your presentation just blew me away of all these little things that I was like, man, that is so valuable that could help me. But the main thing is I think balance is real, but making sure that you take time for your family, if you got one, because over a long period of time, you're telling them that your business is more important than they are. And that's going to reap massive problems later in the marriage when your kids get 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, they'll rebel and push against you. So I just won't do that. That's the main thing that I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I love that, man. I mean, relationships really are like the key happiness indicator. That this isn't just me talking about it. This is actually statistically studied, and it's really important for you to have that hard stopping point. I think a lot of people, they bring work with them into their mealtime or their date night or whatever they're doing. And I think having those barriers, that's something I preach. I think it's important, not only barriers for your family, but barriers for your own passionate hobbies. One of the other 10 alignments is like, okay, now it's time for me to fill my cup and do things that I enjoy. And
Yeah.
I don't know if enough entrepreneurs and happy hustlers give themselves permission to really enjoy that time to just fill their cup. And then you can give from your overflow and really just, be a better version of yourself when you are showing up for your family or for your business or for your team, right?
And could I give your happy hustler just like a little bit of advice on this? Like one
Please.
massive tip that changed everything for me for this, because
Yeah.
my default was always just to work your tail off, right? I was just an Irish kid and I wasn't very smart and I could work really hard. I fell into all the little stereotypes that I was always told. And then one day I'm like, why am I eating dinner thinking about what happened in the office? Why am I eating dinner thinking about, what happened 3 hours ago? And it really got me upset. And I really struggled with that. I'd be with my wife thinking about my business. I'd be with my kids, but I'd be checking on my iPhone. And really what happened was I let all that stuff attach itself to me and carry with me into my home. Right now, you may not think that's a big problem. Oh, my hard stopping time. I'm with my family. But the truth is, if you're not present with your family or your relationships, you're not actually there. You're not actually there. So the question is, how do we get there? How do we get there? And I'll tell you one thing that I do, Carrie, and this is so important. When I walk into my house, my door is like 11 feet tall into my home. It's a big door, like it's a massive door. And when it opens, it kind of makes a clank, like it's solid metal. It makes a big clank. And I use that clank as a physical representation to say, boom, done. Like that's it. And so I use it as a trigger to bring out the present Tyson, right? Another thing I'll do when I walk in the door, walk through the door of my house, because I believe that's like a portal into a new place. I'll slap the jamb of my door, like give it a slap. And I'm like, boom, that quick, it's done. It's over. Move on. Okay. It's about transforming into the person that you need to be in that moment. Myself, this pink shirt, wore it for 15 years. When I put it on, I feel like Superman. When I put this shirt on, it's my alter ego popping out saying, hey, let's go. Let's go. We can do this. Same thing when I take it off and I go be with my family. There's a physical representation of when I go through that doorway, all that trash drips off me in the past, and I'm able to step into the present with my wife and my kids.
Yeah.
Learning that helped me so much.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, and we talked a lot about alter egos, at the I Do Epic live event. Shout out to Bart, our good buddy. That was a powerful takeaway for me too. It's just, I've always had these, alter egos, the happy hustler, and then, JC, and then I got Zor, my family, like this godly husband. And, I think it's more important for me, even after this past mastermind experience, to just lean in. Like you say, when you put the pink shirt on, it's Superman Tyson time, and it's like when you go home, you turn into super dad, right? It's like you have these alter egos. And I think that alone, I hope all the happy hustlers really take stock of that. It's not just like a fun concept. It's actually something that could really positively impact your life. So I'm really glad you brought that up. Now, when it comes to just tying this all together, like your No Limits mentorship program, I know you got your awesome companies. I know you also have a challenge coming up, and a pretty cool challenge at that, the Cowboy challenge, which this is something I'm really excited to hear more about. Talk to the happy hustlers about the Cowboy challenge. Whoa! Apologies for interrupting your programming, but I have to tell you, the best investment you can make in yourself is one in which helps you acquire skills. You've probably heard people talk about, just invest in yourself and you'll be successful. Yes, that's true to a degree, but you have to invest in skills that will ultimately help you achieve your desired results. And I think one of the best skills one can possess, be it an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, is the sales sword. Really knowing how to sell, utilizing pressure-free persuasion, which will make you more money and more impact. Now, if you want to know how to sell more efficiently and effectively, I just launched a sales course called The Proven Roadmap Process to selling millions of dollars and helping you to increase your conversions guaranteed. And you can get access to this new sales course that the Happy Hustle is launching at thehappyhustle.com/sales. And if you act fast, you'll get it at the lowest price it'll ever be available, because we are launching it and we want to gain amazing testimonials and social proof to further share this knowledge. So if you act fast, you can get it at the lowest price it'll ever be. That's at thehappyhustle.com/sales. Now let's get back to this episode.
Yeah, so I got this thing coming up called the Cowboy Challenge, and it blew my mind. When I went to go to it, I'm like, I wonder if the Cowboy Challenge is available. And I'm like, it's available, because I wanted this challenge to represent, number one, who I am, but it's not just for cowboys. It's for people who want to go to the next level with their mindset, to have belief, to have confidence, to get over past things that are actually dragging you down. And if you like that little thing about the physical representation in your alter ego, like, this Cowboy Challenge is that times like 100. Mm-hmm. And that's all I can give you. It triggers, it's going to force you to do some physical things every day. It's going to force you to work your mind, not just your body, right? It's going to force you to dig down and dig deep and say, hey, I've been facing some demons I've been running away from for the last 20 years, but today is the day that we're going to overcome it. Plus, it's massive accountability. Like, trust me, if you take the Cowboy Challenge, it's not this thing where you just log into a course and never log into it again. I am going to be in your ear pushing you every single day. So it's an 11-day challenge for those who want to transform their mental toughness, their body, and belief in themselves.
Oh, I love it. And where can people go? I'm sure, the Happy Hustlers are fired up about it. Where can people go to sign up?
Yeah, it's thecowboychallenge.com. Again, it'll be thecowboychallenge.com. And I think when we launch, I might keep it free for a little bit. So if your listeners are listening to this and they want it for free, just go to thecowboychallenge.com, and it won't stay free forever. I've spent 3 months working on this, and it's the accumulation of 32,000 hours of me practicing my sport. So it won't stay free for long, but if your listeners want it, go there and it'll be free for quite a while.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Thecowboychallenge.com. Y'all check it out. Definitely worth just signing up, especially while it's free. Get it while it's still good. And we'll link it up in the show notes below, so you guys can all, just click on it easily. Now, I do got to ask you just about social media, because I feel like, you're really good at social media. I'm just going to say it like that, just because I don't know how else to say it. You're very engaging. You put out solid content that's informative, inspirational, educational. And I think it's a big part of a personal brand, just having some type of representation that's authentic, that is, vulnerable, but just true. When it comes to social media and creating content, I know a lot of the Happy Hustlers, this is a sticking point. A lot of people are like a little reluctant to put themselves out there, or maybe they feel that like compare and despair, where it's like, who am I to share this message? Or, this person did better than me, or made more money than me. What's your process when you do create social media content, and maybe some words of wisdom when it comes to, others who may be feeling that compare and despair?
So yeah, if you're comparing yourself to what other people think, it really goes back to dealing with some other things in the past, right? If you say to yourself, who am I to put out this content? Why would they listen to me? I've got, 300 followers. You really got to go back and understand why you do what you do. So for myself, right? When I started putting out content, I was like, yeah, I'm not really famous. I'm not anybody. I'm not anything special. But if 10 people see this message and it can change a life, that's potentially 10 lives I can change. Again, you guys heard in the beginning of this podcast, I tie everything I do. It's not about me. It's about what value I can offer. How can I help other people? And it just grew from there. I think we're maybe closing on like 800,000 followers across the channels. And it's not about me. It's about them. So when you're creating content, think about things that will resonate with your audience and serve your audience and add value to your audience. Okay. And then a quick little hack that I've been giving to my audience is mix some viral content in there that closely relates to what you do. So for example, if I find something like Western or mental toughness related that's going fire online, I'm now going to post it on my page, credit the person who did it, and then it'll pick up steam and fire on my page. But what happens is these followers then go to my page and check out what I'm all about. And then they land on a motivational thing. Then they land on a motivational quote. And guess what happens? Follow. Tyson's adding value. Okay. So number one, if you don't want to post, tie your posting, your content creation to somebody you can serve. Okay.
Yep.
Get a cadence, get a rhythm, post, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week, whatever you're comfortable with. Pick a platform, stick with it. Don't go try to do 10 platforms at once. For me, it's Instagram and Facebook. Now I'm starting to do the YouTube thing. Once you get there, share viral content that will pop off on your page. Okay.
Yep.
Don't do it all the time. Do it 1 in 5. You have 5 posts, do 1 viral. And keep that cadence and that rhythm. Like last week on YouTube, I had a video, get a like 1.5 million views or something like that. It brought me 5,000 followers on YouTube. Wow. I'm like, whoa, this is great. And that's how I built Instagram. That's how I built Facebook. Just continue adding value, but mixing in a little bit of viral content and make it about the other people.
Yeah, that's some gold right there. I hope the happy hustlers actually heed that advice and they call it, I think, newsjacking too. Some of that viral content where you take what's working, what's hot right now in the world, and you can do a comment video on it or some type of, fresh take on that video, or just post that video, but giving credit, where credit's due all the while. I just thought that was important to reference it because social media is a really great way to just connect with more people. I think a lot of people get caught up in the consumer mentality of social media rather than the producer mentality. And, I'm wondering if you have any thoughts there.
Yeah, I was like, please let me talk. But I'm so passionate about social media. I mean, it's built my business, it's built my businesses, right? And you got to look at it as I'm a producer, not a consumer. And I was always like this producer who produced what I wanted. I produced what I wanted. I would do the talking head, the motivational stuff, the quote style. And guess what? It worked really good for a while. And then I was like, man, nobody likes my stuff anymore. Like when reels came out and shorts came out and the girls are doing the dancing videos and the guys are doing the whatever, flexing out. I don't have those muscles, so I can't do the flexing out stuff, right? Gary does. He can do it. But what I'm saying is, it hit my ego a little bit. It's like, I used to get 10,000 likes on this, and now it's getting 1,000 or 500. And so what I begin to realize is give the people what they want and serve them more your message. You give them what they want, but you serve them what they need. And so when I started looking at my Instagram and my Facebook and it wasn't popping off anymore, I'm like, okay, I'm going to give them what they need, but what do they want right now? They want something they can go, ha 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 ha, right? They want some kind of and so I actually like it better now because I can go content jack or reshare something that's popping off. And then when they get to my page, I can feed them what they need that serves and helps their life, right? And so to grow on social media, you cannot be a consumer. I'm going to say this again. To grow on social media, you cannot just be a consumer. You got to be a producer. Same way in your business, same way in your family. You want your family to be good, be a producer. Invest in your kids, invest in your wife. You want your job and your business to go to the roof, invest in it. Be a producer. You just want to sit back and enjoy the ride. You're not going anywhere. So look at social media as that. If you're trying to pop off, another great thing I can give your audience is network with people. So myself, I got, I think on Instagram, 165 or 70,000 followers. I'm constantly networking with people who are in my range that are either where I'm at, slightly above or slightly below. And guess what? When I go on their podcasts like Carrie, or when I go on retreats or events, I'm shouting them out. And then after I shout them out, they feel the law of reciprocity. And so when I reach out to them, they're like, hey, that Cowboy and Pinky shouted me out 5 times. Yeah, let's do something. And so that allows me to move into their audience a little bit. So if you got 5,000 followers, network with somebody that's got 10. If you got 10, network with somebody that's got 15. And just constantly keep leveling yourself up until you grow and grow and grow.
Yeah. Oh, preach it, brother. Great tips right there. And especially just, adding value, I think is something that, again, it's a little cliche. Everyone knows, oh, you got to have value, but like, do you actually live it? Like, do you actually lead with that value first mindset on social media, online and offline? Right. I do want to ask you some of these happy hustle hack questions and then put you through the rapid fire round. Then we'll wrap this interview up. These are like a tip, a tool, a tactic when it comes to a couple different disciplines. First being health. You don't become a happy hustler without your health. And I know you don't become a world champion athlete without your health. What would you say is something that you do that's a little unique in this category that we could deem a happy hustle hack?
Steak and mashed potatoes every single day. I had to throw that in there. For me, throughout my rodeo career, flexibility was something I really worked on. I'm 6 feet tall. I'm 173 pounds, so I'm not like a real bulky dude. But guys in athletics were tearing their knees, their ankles, all this stuff up all the time. Guess what? Because I worked on my flexibility for so many years, I didn't get the injuries that everybody else had, and it allowed my career to go much longer. Same thing in your life. You eat junk, you eat trash, you're constantly eating candy bars, you're smoking cigarettes, you're chewing tobacco, you're shortening your career. And your career could equal your life. It could equal your business. So like, don't put that trash in your body, right? If you do, limit it. You're going to go out and have a drink, limit it to 1 or 2 or 3. Don't have 12, right?
Yeah.
So flexibility for me was a really big thing. I had a stretch routine put together 15, 20 years ago that I've been using ever since.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Stretching every day is a part of my routine too. So let's talk about money. I think money is a currency. It's an energy. It's a frequency, right? It makes you more who you are. Do you have any tips or tools or tactics when it comes to maybe saving or investing or spending, wisely that you could share that we could deem a happy hustle hack?
Yeah, we could go a whole 8 hours on this one. But one of the things that I had to do, because I came from such a poor background, was I had to learn how to just give it away. I had to learn how to just give the money away, because it wasn't even about the giving it away, right? It was about the power that it had over me, right? It had a power over me that when I gave it away, it was like, I don't know. How am I going to pay bills this month? Right? But I believe that God, the universe, is on your side. And if you constantly break down these barriers right here, the reality comes and happens. So for years, I saved 10%, I tithe 10%, and everything else just went into the accounts for the businesses. And what happened over time doing this, I watched my checking account go from 100 grand, 200 grand, 300 grand, 400 grand, 500 grand. Pretty soon, like, I had so much money that I was like, whoa, I'm just a poor kid from the Midwest. And my identity started to change. So number one, yeah, you got to work hard. Yeah, you got to watch your budget. Yeah, you got to do all this stuff. But don't just think it's all for you. I'm a big believer in like saving kids from trafficking. I'm a big believer in building wells in Africa. I'm a big believer in trying to help somebody who nobody even knows that's on the side of the road. I'm a big believer in that. And as far as money is concerned, money in circulation is the most powerful. The key is to get circulation. So focus on the circulation of money, bringing it into your business, spending it out. Once you have the circulation right, then you can tithe, or you can give away, or you can do whatever you want. You can save, but really focus on that circulation, and then don't let money have power over you. Use it for good.
Yeah. Ooh, preach it, brother. I love it. I mean, that was a big catalyst for me too. Is just like the power of giving money away. And like, I talk about selfless service and giving your time, your money, your expertise, but like really giving money, it always comes back to you, even tenfold oftentimes when you do give it away. So you have to practice that abundance over scarcity mindset. So yeah, really great tips there, man. Let's talk about spirituality. I think whether you believe in one God or another, or one religion or another, I just think it's important to have faith in something bigger than yourself. What would you say is a happy hustle hack in this arena when it comes to connecting with the higher power, and maybe something that you could share with the happy hustlers?
Yeah, pray. It's really one word. I mean, I'm a follower of Jesus, so I'm praying to Jesus, but whatever it is that you believe in, pray. Like I have conversations every day, all day with my creator, right? All day long. It's not like, a lot of people say I got to go meditate and then I got to stretch and then I don't have time to pray or whatever. Like I'm so busy. Like take a deep breath, realize that connection is there all day long. It's with you when you're struggling. It's with you when you're happy. Don't just go and talk to your creator when you're struggling. Like just all day, every day, pray. Like you can get on your knees and pray. You can stand up and pray. Like just have that connection and know that I'm a big believer that God's got my back. Like he is not going to let me fail. I can't be stupid, but, and by stupid, I mean like I can't do drugs. I can't go drink. I can't just eat trash.
Yeah.
I need to take care of myself, but like just freaking pray, have that connection and know that he's got your back. Even if it seems difficult, he's got your back. For me, prayer, really connected me deeper. And I'm going to go just 2 seconds longer on this.
Yeah.
I've prayed for years, right? I prayed before I believed there was a God, to be honest with you. I would just be like, hey, can you help me out here? Like I prayed all the time. And I actually heard the voice of God one time audibly. I don't want to sound crazy to everybody, but I was stretching in the 7th round of my national finals. I was so far back in the world standings. It didn't look like there was any chance that I could win the world. I was stretching by myself. I did it in a dark room. I did it for 20 minutes every day. And this is at our Super Bowl of our sport. And I hear this voice, I am with you. That's all I heard. And it's just like, whoa, it blew me back. And somehow I came from like last place in the world standings to first place in just 3 days. Wow. And just know that that same power has got your back if you're willing to spend time with it.
Ooh, love it, brother. Amen. I love it all. Let's talk about relationships. One last happy hustle hack here. When it comes to your relationships, is there anything that you do that's maybe a little unique that we could deem as a happy hustle hack here?
This is not, okay. For those of you that have a secretary, put your wife on your calendar. Make sure that she like is prominent in everything that you do, whether it's kids, whether it's flowers, whether it's foot rubs. But understanding, and we talked about this the other week, Carrie, like understanding how your relationship feels to your wife is so important. For example, my wife is running 2 of our companies. I'm running another company. We're going 1,000,000 miles an hour, 3 kids, a baby, a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, 6-year-old. So some of the happy hustlers can fit in my shoes. We can get done at the end of the day and be wiped out, exhausted. I mean, freaking wiped out. And my wife might be mad at me because I did something, which happens. If you're married, you understand. If I sit on that couch at the end of the day and I grab the lotion jug and I rub my wife's feet for 10, 15 minutes, I get a new woman. She transforms, right? Yep. And so that act of kindness, she might even be like, I don't want to, I don't need to, blah, blah, blah. But once I start doing it, she transforms. So like do an act of kindness. If it's flowers, great. My wife loves flowers. So my secretary reminds me to get flowers, or she orders them for me. And then I just go pick them up and take them home. My wife loves handwritten notes, which is something I have to work on. So I'm doing handwritten notes occasionally. I'm definitely rubbing feet because I like touch. That's my level. So I'm like, I like touch, so I'll rub your feet. So just to understand that, in your relationships, you just got to invest in them. And it's just like your business. Ask what's working. What's working? Do more of that. If it's not working, don't try to make your partner like what you like. Just do what they like. It'll be way easier.
Oof. Yep. Solid insights, my man. Solid. Let's talk about the most requested part of the show typically, which is the rapid fire round, because we get to know Tyson a little deeper, and it's first thing that comes to mind, whatever it is, you just say it. And I'm going to ask you a bunch of random questions. Are you ready?
Let's roll, baby. Let's do this.
All right. Favorite food? Go.
Steak and mashed potatoes.
Favorite movie?
The Cowboys, John Wayne.
Favorite book?
Think and Grow Rich.
What's your spirit animal?
I got to go with the horse for sure.
Best business advice?
It takes longer than you think.
3 things you're most grateful for?
My family, my health and my God.
Nice. And if you had a billboard for the world to see with your last piece of content on it, what's that billboard read?
Oh, that is a question. Live slow but move fast.
Ooh, crush that rapid fire round, man. That was some absolute gold. And Tyson, brother, I just want to,
I didn't get the
what?
questions, everybody. These were rapid fire. So wow.
You killed it. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge you, brother, just for sharing your love, your light, your wisdom, your unapologetic self, and just your mental toughness, your smile and your pink shirt, man. The whole just energy that you bring to life is contagious. And I'm just so grateful to be a friend and brother of yours, and just looking forward to collaborate more and more in the future and hang out more and more in the future. And I'm just grateful for you. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And everybody watching this, all the happy hustlers or people who are thinking about being happy hustlers, I've known Carrie for a few years now, probably going on 3.5, 4 years, something like that. I have literally seen, I've seen at least 50 people trying to do what Carrie is doing, but Carrie is in a league of his own. I've watched his presentations. I've seen the way he puts everything together, his professionalism, his dedication, his discipline. Like if you're thinking about getting involved with the Happy Hustle, this is not scripted, do it. Because I was with him for 3 days and it shifted my life. And I'm already an elite performer. So thank you, Carrie, for that. You blessed me so much that time that we had together, and just all that you're doing, man. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you, man. I really received that, and I appreciate you, man. Lots of love to you. Gosh, where was I going? Oh, let's talk about where people can find you, because now I'm all like, oh, feeling great about myself. Where can people find Tyson and talk about your challenge?
It's just at Tyson Durfey, Instagram, Facebook. If you like motivation, business, making money, cowboy lifestyle, just check me out. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. That's pretty much where I'm at. And I'd love to connect with everybody. I answer every single DM right now, and I have been for the last decade. So hit me up, man. I'd love to help anybody out.
Love that. And thecowboychallenge.com. Tyson, last question, man. What does happy hustling mean to you?
Man, it means working your passion, right? Actually doing what you love. And that's why I'm so excited about what you're doing, is because most people are like, hustle, grind, get the Lambo, only to find out when they get the Lambo, it sucks. And people only like them because of the stuff they have. And so happy hustle, keep it balanced, keep it good, keep it moving, but move fast and love what you do.
Oh, mic drop, y'all. Tyson Durfey, thank you for watching and listening, everyone. We are out. Peace and love.